Whoa, 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 whoa. Scott, D.E. Scott, if you have something to say it to my face. Say it to my face, D.E. Scott. By the way, I'm just playing. There's no beef. I'm really actually excited about the stuff D.E. Scott said. Now, over there on the Frozen podcast, my boy Scott said he's really tired of content creators getting the content and going straight to the semi-locker room to show it off. And I said, speak on it, young king. Speak on it, Scott. Now, I haven't really been excited in a really long time, bro, to talk about something in Warframe. Because you guys know I kind of cover Warframe like a news, whole shebang, bang, whatever. And Scott really said some valuable stuff. So unbutton the top button of your muscle shirt, elaborate on your Spanish. And we're about to go through this whole thing because this was actually kind of lit. So the thing about it is, Scott basically said the content, the artists, the architectures, all of those people get disrespected basically on the whole fact of the players are not being shown the content. Whenever people see YouTube videos, they're like, yo, everybody's in the semi-locker room. Nobody's truly playing the content. And he's like, people are seeing this and thinking, is this Warframe? So Scott's basically saying, yo, y'all are not showing off the game the way the game was actually created to be shown off. You guys are basically showing the game off incorrectly, especially for newer players who are coming by to see the game's content. Now you guys know, we're going to break this down on the scientific method. Because I love this. I love that he brought this up. Because you guys know how much Warframe cares about the newer players. Can't say their name out too loud, you know what I'm saying? It's like Lord Voldemort, you know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. Is Scott wrong? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section because, as always, homies, we back with the foolishness. Now you guys know what I want. I want to hear that spice. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section on For Real. Is Scott wrong? Do I feel like Scott is wrong? No. Heck no. Heck triple dipple no. I think Scott's 100% right. I think the devs should actually speak more about like how they see people cover their game. I wonder what they'll have to say to me. I'm scratching my chin pondering, by the way. Okay, let me continue. Seriously, let's get back on topic, right? The thing about this is why it's such a good thing to bring up is because you guys know, and I'm gonna be completely fair. There's no end game in Warframe. We know this. The players made it up, right? We made it up, and the end game in Warframe that we all made up is what every end game is in other games, which is the level of difficulty that the players are looking for. Players are looking for the difficulty, right? So this really shows that players want the difficulty, but don't want to spend the time to go into actually having to go, I would say, an hour, 2 hours in to get that difficulty. They just want it right away. They want to see how weapons perform on high-level enemies right away. Is the players wrong for that? Nah, y'all not wrong, homies. You good. Unbutton your socks. Relax. Lean back. You good. Y'all aren't the problem. So if Scott's not wrong about the content creators and the players aren't wrong about how they try to get the end game, what's the real issue here? Well, I'm glad you asked. Rio, nobody asked. Okay, I'm glad you asked. Okay, I'm glad you asked. The real issue here is that your player base actually craves end game, but it's not in the game. Okay? The next thing is DE's number one most played content. Do you guys know what it is? You guys know what their most played content is? Well, this might be a stretch. I might be pulling this a little bit too far. Just a little bit too far. Because it's not really content, but I guess it is. Capture. Capture is DE's number one most active thing that players live in. So you got Capture, and what players are saying now is that, oh my god, DE Scott, you can't get mad at us. What you should do is that you should actually combine Captura and the semi-locker room together. And I said, wait, what? I don't think that's how you fix that. So the thing is, do DE just go ahead and put higher level content in the game? Here's the thing. I don't even want to ask them that question no more because we've been asking them that question for so long. I guess now that Scott's upset that they're probably going to do something. You know, when the devs are upset is when they want to do something. So maybe There might be some higher level enemy planets coming in. Who knows, right? Now, here's the thing that's crazy about this, right? Most of your content's being shown off in Capture. They're not playing the game. You guys have seen me been saying this for years, bro. You guys know how I used to do things. Like whenever we're talking about endgame, listen, whenever I say endgame, I'm not forcing everybody to play what we play. All I'm saying is, don't say these are the top 5 endgame Warframes and you're showing them 5 minutes in. I don't think anybody think that's credible, right? You can't show them 5 minutes in and then be like, these are the top 5 most favorite. Like whenever I used to do endgame videos, it was 3 to 6 hours in, I'm showing them. And I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying is if I'm going to make the content for you to see how good these frames are at this level in, I have to show you the level of these monsters to see how that they deal with these enemies. You see what I'm saying? And I see where Scott's coming from, because you're not showing off the tile sets. You're not showing off what the architectures have done. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Danielle from, you guys remember that video I did from way back? You know, when she was talking about don't disrespect the architecture. It was super hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I see is that it's a divide in the freaking player base. And the player base divide is not on par with that of the devs. The devs don't really want the end game. You have a part of the community that wants the end game, right? Then you have those players that don't care about the end game. They just want Captura. You know what I'm saying? Scott also said seeing a level 120 heavy gunner stuck in one position, doing all this damage to it. And the thing about it is he basically, like I said, he pointed out the content creators, right? Like these content creators, they love putting 15 heavy gunners in one spot and look at the crit and these unrealistic scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Like these scenarios, like how the thing about it is that we always say is the way how things work in the semi locker room for all the people who truly play endgame and the people who truly played Warframe, right? In very high stress scenarios, because you got to go really far to get that stress scenario. The way how you put things in the semi locker room is not how the game's going to play out. The weapon's doing this much damage. It's not how it's going to play out in like real end game runs, okay? That weapon might be doing 120,000 in the semi locker room. It might be doing just freaking 1,000 damage when you're 4 hours in. It's not doing anything because you got to think about the ancient healers. You got to think about other enemies that are out there. And then you're getting pushed back because your DPS is lowered so you can't stay up in the survival. Oh, let me stop talking about end game. I almost had flashbacks. Right? So the players are basically saying, well, it should be here. And I understand it, because when a weapon come out, you get it, you just want to do a quick test, see what it's about, kind of test it a little bit to get an idea to see if the weapon's good before you take it in the end game, right? I get that, that's true. But what it then turned into is that you got all these players now, all these content creators that are like, this is how it works. And they only show you the semi-lock room. They never played a game. So now DE's kind of understanding that their game doesn't get played. Scott's like, yo, y'all don't play our content, bro. You don't play the content. We feel like, you know what I'm saying, with just going to the semi locker room. He was like, I wanted to delete it at one point. I was like, talk that talk, king. Talk that talk, young Canadian king. I was like, yo, that's what I'm talking about, Scott. Hey, I'm not saying to delete it. I'm just saying he's saying what he want to say instead of like sugarcoating things. I love when people say what they want to say. I feel like that's the best way to go about things. Don't worry about what other people are gonna say to it. Let the conversation spark. And the thing is, the DE staff, the DE devs, they feel a lot of ways about how people approach their game and how things are actually, you know what I'm saying, set, because they have a vision. You know what I'm saying? And we just can't really see the vision right now. But the thing about it is that everybody has a vision for what it is that they're going to do. Some people feel like they don't have a vision, you know, but at the end of the day, I feel like the content creators really do shape this game in a very weird way. Especially me. You guys know me. Like I'm not above criticism or anything, bro. One thing about me, why I feel good talking about people, is because I can talk about myself just as much. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about myself just as much. I know when I'm wrong and I know when I'm not wrong. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't really care about criticism because I already criticized myself before I dropped the video. I'm like, nah, Rio, you BSing before you drop this video, and I still drop it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, one thing about me, look at the footage you're looking at now. The footage you're looking at now is Monster Hunter. By the way, follow me over there on Twitch for some Monster Hunter, Warzone, Mortal Kombat 11. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Okay. But look at the content you're looking at. It's Monster Hunter. Why? Why are you looking at Monster Hunter? Because I can actually put whatever it is I want to put in a Warframe video. It's literally my video. There's no rules to say I can't put whatever I want to put. But the thing about it is, I can put whatever I want. But the thing is, this game's, I'm not saying this game's what this game is or what this game isn't. All I'm saying is, I'm getting more of a challenge out of this. You see what I'm saying? And then Warframe, the thing that I used to play was, I used to push endgame. I didn't even like uploading 5-minute run videos. I used to be allergic to that stuff. I used to hate seeing it. It was so boring to me. Because when you guys sit there and you look at it, you know what I'm saying? When you sit there and you look at it, Warframe's game loop it's a very weird game loop, because you got to start so low to basically push forward to get in the, and then scaling on enemies, the time for these enemies to get strong or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And then when you think about it, you got to go through, and then people test all these weapons. Like, listen to this contradiction real quick. You feel me? Listen to this contradiction. Like, all the content creators go through and they test all these weapons against high-level enemies in the semi-locker room. But the problem is, nobody plays high-level enemies. So they're like, listen to this. Listen to this. Yeah, I want to test these weapons to show you guys how these weapons perform at an extremely high level. But nobody plays past 20 minutes. Nobody. Level 40 enemies. Like, when you look at that stuff, it's a major contradiction. Like, nobody truly cares about high level damage, right? Everybody says they don't truly care about high level damage, but everybody wants to see what the high level damage is going to be. So when you look at it, I'm like, okay, so do you want endgame or do you not? You see what I'm saying? And then you also got these players. It's not designed around endgame, but every single one of you tested against high level enemies. So what are you really saying, bro? Like, it's so weird to me. So I kind of get where Scott's coming from. You know what I mean? I get where he's coming from. And it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I feel like a lot of the content creators help push away from it, because the thing is, to me, it's like whenever I stop doing endgame videos, it's just because a lot of the player base, bro, these dudes be weird, man. You know what I'm saying? Dudes just be looking for Saren and Embers to be kissing art pictures, because the game's going in such a weird direction now. It's like Warframe's not really about gameplay, and Scott is basically noticing that. It's not really about the gameplay anymore, because everybody will just show the semi-lock room, Captura, and fan art. That's what your game is right now. And so as a dev, to basically stomach that and all the hard work that you guys put into it, to see what your community then basically turned your game into, is definitely kind of disrespectful. And it's also disrespectful on DE's part to not really change the game loop, to not really change the gaming format, the mechanics. The same mechanics should not be there for over the past 7 years. You should have already rotated out the mechanics. You should have rotated out the IP. Have things going on, different seasons or whatever you're going to go with. Change up metas. Don't nerf everything completely, but switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Bring new enemy types to make these weapons go into meta and come out of meta. And these are just the things that it could go with, but they play it so safe that the game became a lot more so along the line of repetitive. More so boring for a lot of people, because they don't change up the gaming loop and they feel like one thing is going to work completely forever. But you got to take chances and switch these things up, bro. That's just what it comes down to, you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate Scott for saying what he said. I feel like it was a good thing to say, especially for the community, because a lot of people in the community, they say they love Warframe, but they really don't, though, because when you think about it, Warframe is just about cheese, and nobody really truly cares about the game as much. When you're farming, you farm one way, you level up one way. Most of the people got most of their time spent in game on one map, okay? They level up on one map. They don't really play none of the other games. I mean, none of the other modes, none of the other missions, none of the other planets, really. Some people are afraid to go to certain planets because certain planets are too difficult, so then it pushes away. So then these devs see that these missions aren't really getting that much playtime. Bro, I used to put mad playtime on mine. But so a lot of people are scared of mine. A lot of people won't go there. They feel like the difficulty is too high. A lot of people try to tell them to scale it down. It's unrealistic. Imagine saying something's unrealistic in Warframe. You know what I'm saying? The game that's built on unrealistic thoughts, right? So when you look at it, man, what could they do? I mean, they just got to change the loop. They got to change the loop. They got to change a lot of stuff, actually. I ain't even got time to name all this stuff. I ain't got time to fall into that little Warframe bubble of people that's like, well, LifeOfRio, what do you feel like they can do? Look, I don't want to talk to you, okay? Look, you're too far deep, okay? It's too many videos out there of things that they could do. Right now, they just gotta implement things. They're a little bit too out of their own zone, and I feel like they've just really gotta take more chances. But other than that, man, Scott, you a real one, bro. I rock with you. Thank you for saying what you were saying. Okay, pop off, Young King, and prosper. Hey, yo, for everybody who watched the video, hope that you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had a good time, and I'm gonna catch you guys later on the next video. You guys take care. This was really fun. I love covering the game like this. I love covering the game on the news aspect instead of just the planet aspect. Bro, hold up. If you guys make it this far, I heard about the new update. I was watching my friends play it, and yikes. The Scarlet, yikes. Yikes, okay? Yikes. Not looking too good there, buddy. Not looking too good. You bandit. You bandit. All right, y'all take care, homies. I love you.